Hey, I'm Bharath. I'm the product manager for AI at SingleStore. And today I'm thrilled to introduce SingleStore Aura, a next generation on demand serverless and elastic platform designed for running any data, AI, and third party applications. Aura seamlessly integrates with our core SingleStore engine to deliver that real time performance that you need for modern AI applications. With Aura, we're making it easier than ever to build, deploy, and scale intelligent applications seamlessly and efficiently. So here's what we'll cover today. Um, from cloud functions to inference APIs to GPU compute, Python UDFs, advanced security with RBAC, observability, multi-region support, and our exciting text-to-SQL feature. We'll also see these capabilities in action with some demos sprinkled in between these slides to show you how powerful Aura is and how far we have come with it. So SingleStore Aura is an on-demand serverless platform which takes advantage of the co-location nature of it being present right next to your database so that your applications that require that real-time access to data can get that by having it present so close to the database and the compute. And what it allows you to do is build these applications seamlessly and efficiently to serve those business needs. SingleStore Aura allows you to harness the power of Python and AI running on top of SingleStore's high performance core engine. It powers our notebooks, LLM models, cloud functions, and many more features that I'll be presenting shortly. So, the first feature that I want to talk about is our SingleStore Aura cloud functions. These are Lambda-style serverless functions hosted right within Aura, which is protected with enterprise-grade security. Now, what this allows you to do is build data apps on top of your database and expose them as a REST API endpoint for your AI applications to consume. And what's more, you can also build agents and tools for those agents for any of the agentic workflows that your business might have need for. Let's see this in action with our eStore Analytics demo. Where SingleStore really shines is in analytics in millisecond response time. Here, with Cloud Functions, we have a simple analytics REST endpoint, and all you had to do was write a few lines of code, and your data is accessible via an endpoint. This empowers developers to rapidly prototype and deploy data-driven applications. Here we have prepared a notebook, and there are very few steps involved in like taking that SQL that you had to execute to get the analytics to an actual REST endpoint. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up all the necessary libraries, all the necessary frameworks that you might need. So the most important thing that you need to do is set up a fast API, take that SQL query, encase it in a Python function, and define the endpoint path at which you want to expose this API. And then finally, run and create the server, your fast API server. And then to publish this, all you have to do is click the publish button, select the cloud function option, write an optional description as needed, and make sure to check the database against which the SQL query runs. And then you have the option to choose the runtime, which we'll come back to in a later slide. And then click next and click publish. So once you hit publish, you'll be taken to this details page where your cloud function will be initialized and ready to be served in a serverless manner. So once you have your cloud function ready, you'll be able to see a Swagger UI page that lists the cloud function endpoints that you have defined in the notebook. We have written additional code, but the one that we care about in our demo is getting the top products. So once you have your cloud function ready and initialized, you'll be shown this Swagger UI page where you can test out the endpoints that you have defined in your notebook. The one that we care about right now for our demo is the getting the top products in our database. So you can check it out right here. So let's execute. Let's find the top 10 products. And the UI should return the items that are top 10. Now, to actually use this in your data API, there are two things that you need to care about. One is the API URL that you have to, is the actual endpoint that you'd be connecting your front end or whatever app that you have to hit this backend API. And then the app API key. This is the bearer token, the auth token, which is used to connect and hit this endpoint successfully. So let's create one. create one. Let's set the appropriate expiry token and then hit create. You'll be given this API key that you can use as a bearer token when hitting any of the endpoints that you have made available here. This page has the analytics that's being served from the backend Cloud Function API that we have exposed through our notebook. The one that we care about is getting the top products. So let's hit run. When you hit run, what happens is we use the API endpoint and the API key that we had taken from the Swagger UI page and used it here to make this call. So in the backend, frontend has made a request to the backend. The backend has ran the SQL query and returned these results. And it was as easy as publishing the notebook with a click of a button. And that's the power of SingleStore notebooks. Now, Aura makes it seamless to load and run large language models and embedding models directly within your Python environment. You can deploy these models in a single tenant mode for maximum security or in a serverless mode for cost efficiency, tailoring your experience to your business need and security requirements. You can choose from the most popular models hosted in Aura or the top of the line embedding and LLM models from our partners at Azure and AWS. Aura's GPU-powered notebooks lets you run complex data processing and machine learning tasks with the speed of high-performance compute. Whether you're working on small data sets or running intensive AI workloads, you can choose the compute size that matches your needs, including powerful GPU options. All of this is tightly integrated with SingleStore database for real-time data access and processing. Now, let me show you exactly what GPU acceleration looks like. What you're about to see is a notebook that processes a real high-resolution image using both CPU and GPU so we can directly compare performance. So this notebook runs 3 professional-grade operations. The first, AI image enhancement. This simulates the automated photo editing you see in content creation platforms. Second, advanced image processing. Think of real-time video effects for streaming or broadcasting. And third, color processing, the professional color grading used in film and television production. Of course, these are simulations, but these kind of reflect the modern workloads that you might run. Now, let's pick the runtime that we want. We are going with GPU runtime. And let's run the notebook and see the results. As each operation runs, what's the timing of the results? You'll see CPU processing measured in seconds, while GPU processing happens in milliseconds, often delivering 10 to 100 times faster performance. So as you can see, the same acceleration applies to any data-intensive workloads. You can see the time it took to process on the CPU, the time it took to process on the GPU, almost 10 times, a minimum of 10 times as fast as on the CPU. And here we see 100 times faster than on CPU. On an average, you can expect to get around 50x faster when you run those workloads that can take advantage of GPU on GPU. This same acceleration applies to any data-intensive parallel workload, be it training machine learning models for recommendation systems or processing medical imaging for faster diagnosis, running financial risk simulations, or just about anything that requires matrix multiplications, which is at the core of any AI workloads. The visual outputs are nearly identical. We're not trading quality for speed. We're getting the same results, just faster. GPU notebooks are yet another example of how SingleStore has the performance you need for enterprise AI and how we make it easy for you to choose how much performance you want to pay for. With Cloud Functions, we showed you how easy we make it to call a SQL within a Python notebook. But what if you want to approach it from the other direction? In the previous examples, we worked in Python, as most developers in AI use Python for building AI apps. With Python UDFs, you can define custom Python functions directly in your notebook, register them, and call them from SQL. This bridges the gap between data engineering and data science, allowing for more expressive, flexible, and powerful analytics workflows. It's as simple as writing a function, registering it, and enabling it for your entire org, and having anyone leverage your business logic directly in your SQL queries. Security is at the core of Aura. We serve enterprise customers. Our enhanced role-based access control for Aura gives admins and users fine-grained control over who can access which apps and soon files. You can assign ownership and access rights to different users or teams for each deployed app built on Aura, making teamwork seamless and secure. While we're building all these cool and amazing features, we haven't forgotten that observability is at the core of enterprise applications and is critical for ease of use. Aura provides robust observability tools to track your scheduled jobs, view and monitor logs for any of the compute that's running, and set up alerts so that you're never surprised. This gives you full visibility on control over your applications, helping you troubleshoot and optimize performance quickly. Additionally, the auditability of usage is a key factor that we have accounted for to ensure that we make it super easy for admins to monitor, track, and audit Aura usage across different levels of granularity. One of the key goals with Aura was to provide a general purpose compute that is co-located with our Helios cloud database. Helios is a globally distributed cloud database, and we have launched Aura in 3 strategic regions so our customers can run their notebooks and apps in a region where their data resides. This reduces latency, ensures compliance with local data regulations, and improves availability as we expand Aura to all Helios regions. Now, one of the most exciting features that we are working on in Aura is adding text-to-SQL capabilities. With this, now you can converse with your data in natural language, no SQL needed. This feature provides AI-powered analytics and visualizations to everyone, especially the business users, enabling true self-service analytics. Let's see Text-to-SQL in action on an example sales dataset, TPCDS, that we have prepared. Here, we have a conversation chat interface that an end user would see and chat with. The admin for this feature has already configured the necessary tables that an end user can access. For the demo purpose, let's assume that the end user is exploring the well-known TPCDS dataset with our Text-to-SQL. Let's start with some simple questions and see how our Text-to-SQL works at a high level. Show top 10 stores by sales. As you can see, the agent is thinking. It has used one tool to collect the required tables that it needs to query. It has explained what it needs to do, and it has also written the query. Now you can read the query yourself, but in the end, what we care about is the result. So let's see. So it has given some results, and as you can see, you can immediately give feedback to rate the agent response so that we can improve responses for such queries for all users in your org. But I can see that this is not very easy to read. Let's see if we can ask it to do better. So I've asked it to use a separator or to render it better. Let's see how it does it. Okay, so it has identified that it needs to format the query better. It has formulated the SQL query, and it has also executed. As you can see, now the total sales seems to be rendered in a better way for us to read better. But that's not all. Let's ask it to build a descriptive chart to make it easier to understand and visualize this data better. Okay, it's thinking. Oh, great. So it figured out that it needs to run the query and pipe that information to a visualization tool to be able to visualize it better. And it has also ordered it by total sales. So it's kind of like easier to see. Thank you for joining me for the launch of SingleStore Aura. We can't wait to see what you'll build with this platform. Let's shape the future of intelligent apps together. With the exception of Text-to-SQL that we are actively refining, everything that I've shown you is either already available in the product or available via private preview that you can request by filling out a form that will be shown at the end of the session. All the code for the demos will also be made available on our public GitHub repo for you to try it out yourself.